in the new Illinois 13. It's got all or parts of 14 counties, including parts of McLean County, primarily the western half of Bloomington Normal. We're in Illinois 13 now, right, Tom?
Yes.
I mean, most of you guys probably live in Illinois 13, so you'll have the opportunity to vote for me. When I'm in the emergency room, which is that's how I've made my living for years and years, I'm saving people's lives, bringing people back from the brink, and that's what I'd like to be a part of in Washington, D.C., helping bring our country back from the brink. A lot of people have been going through a lot of very hard times the last several years in this country, and that's something I'm familiar with. I grew up in Chicago, and we didn't have anything extra, and my dad died young. He was 37 when he died, and I was 13, and I had to start working when I was 13, bussing tables and washing dishes in a restaurant, and worked all my life, worked my way through college at the U of I, although I'm a big Redbirds fan too. And I stocked shelves in a Kmart to put myself through college, and then I worked my way through med school at the U of I in Urbana by mopping floors in a laundromat in the middle of the night. So I'm running against a guy who's been, all his adult life, he's been working for politicians. I'm not a political operative, I'm not an insider, I'm an outsider, and I've never taken marching orders from a politician. I'm proud of the fact that my campaign doesn't take a single penny from the Wall Street banks or the big corporations that I think have really brought our economy to where it's provided a lot of pain to a lot of people for a long time. And I worry a great deal about job loss in this country, especially for people in your age group. I've got 6 kids, 4 of them are in college right now, and they're all kind of asking themselves what they're going to do after college. And I think nothing's going to change until we have representatives in Washington who refuse to take that money from the Wall Street banks and the big corporations that have shipped all of our jobs overseas. And another thing is just simply getting into college and being able to afford college. I'm sure you guys are aware of the difficulty with that. When I went to school, 2/3 of the money that was available from Uncle Sam was in the form of grants, Pell Grants, and now it's 2/3 is available in these loans that it seems like it takes you 10 or 20 years to pay off after you get done with college. And we can reverse that. The man I'm running against supports the Ryan budget, which calls for cutting Pell Grants even more, by 45% more. And I think that we can do much, much better than that. So there's a lot that needs fixing. I mean, we can talk about the health of the planet, certainly. I'm a man of science, and I understand about that as well. It disturbs me how these people deny real science in Washington, D.C., like Dr. Renner was talking about. Sometimes people ask me why I ever got the idea to go to Congress in the first place. And I really, I've watched people suffer and die in this country because of the way we finance healthcare. And it really, kind of the last straw for me was several years ago when I was taking care of a young woman, well, young for me, old for you, a 39-year-old woman named Susan, who came into the ER in full cardiac arrest. And we tried and tried for about 40 minutes to resuscitate her, and were unsuccessful. She died. And her husband came up to me. He was grieving, crying, and he told me a very disturbing story. He said that they had been in another emergency room a week earlier because she had been having some chest pains. She looked healthy on the outside, but they had given her some nitroglycerin at that place, and they had suggested she be admitted to the hospital to get worked up and have a stress test. And he was the house husband, and she had one of these jobs that are so common now in this country, a job without health insurance. So they didn't have insurance, and she was feeling better, so they looked at each other and said, we better not stay, and they went on home. And now here she was a week later, stone cold dead, and she had 2 little daughters who are growing up without their mom now. And that happens in this country every 12 minutes. Somebody dies because they don't have health insurance here in America. Anyhow, that was kind of the last straw for me. That's when I decided that we needed different types of people in Washington, D.C., and decided to run. And this is a wonderful district we're running in. Scott made reference to the fact that it'll be close. It will be, but the state Senate Democrats drew a district here, these 14 counties, that leans slightly Democratic. We're ahead in the polls. The team has me on the phone 12 hours a day calling people to raise money, so it's not fun, but it's a necessary evil in politics today. So we're doing a good job of fundraising, and we're bringing in a lot of volunteers and interns. And one of the things I wanted to ask you people this evening is for your help. We would really like to have more interns. Our main headquarters is right here in Bloomington. I live in Bloomington Normal. I work at Broman. Hopefully you guys aren't familiar with the hospital. But, actually, Friday night and Saturday night, I spend a good deal of time with college kids, which is okay. I used to be your age. Anyhow, we need your help. And Tom here, raise your hand, Tom. Tom used to be an intern somewhere. And anyhow, ultimately, he's risen through the ranks, and he's now deputy campaign manager as of, what, about 2 months ago?
Yes.
And anyhow, it's a good experience, it's a wonderful experience, it's a chance for you to change your country. As Terry Renner was talking about, this is really pivotal. This seat ultimately could make a difference. The House of Representatives, we need 25 of these seats to turn over for President Obama, second-term President Obama, to be able to achieve some of the many types of justice that he's interested in achieving. And in order for him to do that stuff, he needs a Democratic majority in the House. And it could wind up 218, 217, and the fate of this seat right here in Central Illinois could decide what he's able to accomplish during his second term, if he has a Democratic majority or not. So we'd love to have you. I think they're going to pass out a sign-up sheet.
Yeah, we've got a sign-up sheet. If you guys are interested in interning or volunteering, go ahead and fill it out. If you want to intern, just write intern in the little box, and I'll definitely get a hold of you.
Do they get any credit for that?
Yeah, you can get credit. You would have to talk to your faculty advisors, but I think it works out to like 3 or 4 credits you can get through the internship, and we'd be happy to do that.
Anyhow, it's a pleasure to see all of you here. You guys are really what makes the whole thing tick. It's got to be young people. I go to a lot of county Democrat meetings, and it's frankly a lot of people that are 50 and over. And I think for this party to stay strong, it needs the energy that folks like you are able to provide. So it's a pleasure to see you guys come out tonight, and I'm sure you guys are here more for the politics of it than the pizza. And anyhow, I'm glad to have the opportunity to visit with you. So, all right, thanks.